Hello and welcome to our podcast again. It's me and Amaya.
Hello.
So we haven't been here for a while, and we're also doing a YouTube video, so just keep that in
Yes.
mind. So we've been MIA for a while. I'm sorry we haven't posted in the last 2 weeks. I've just been busy, and of course she lives in Germany and I'm here in America, so we're trying to get things to line up and match perfectly. So
Yes.
we do have an interesting topic for you today, and I think this is Amaya's baby. This is something she brought up last minute. So I was like, let's go for it. I'm interested because something has happened from my end and her end that I think is gonna make this
Yes,
really interesting.
that is true. But first, I say we should catch up on what has been happening in these last, I think it's been almost a month actually,
It
since we've had the
has.
last podcast. Yeah. So, we had family medical scare on my side, and just recently last week we were going to do the podcast, and then we got sick with the flu. So, the flu took me out all week, and I'm now starting to feel better. So,
And
that's
that's
what's been
good.
happening with me.
I mean, it's good you're feeling better.
Yeah.
I checked on you a few times and I was nervous because I was like, you told me you had the flu, and I was like, the flu is summertime.
Yeah, no, it's so weird. And usually I don't get sick. Like in America, I would get sick all the time. Like if someone had a sickness around me, I was gonna get it. And then here in Germany, I've had a few things, but not too much. And like Armin will get sick and I'm still healthy and kicking. So he was like, I'm feeling bad and I have a headache all day. And I was like, you have man sickness. It's not real. So
Definitely.
I was telling him all day, I was like, you're faking it, like you're fine. And then he took his temperature and it was like 101. And I was like, oh, I feel so bad now because you're
We were on the
actually
phone when that
sick.
happened too. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were talking, and you were like, "His temperature is 101." I was like, "You need to go. You need to go take
Yeah. I
care of
was
your
like,
man."
oh, this is serious. And then the next morning I woke up and I had a fever. So I was like, okay, this is real. We're both
Mm,
sick. And in
well,
Germany, you can't really go to the doctor or the pharmacy on Sundays. Like they might have one open in the town, but that's it. And it's only for emergencies. So we had to wait until Monday to go to the doctor and figure out what was wrong.
well, I'm glad you're better. You're definitely better. So
Me too.
Let's talk about this topic. I mean,
Yes.
let's talk about this topic of friendship and what
Hmm.
levels there are to friendship. Because not everyone can be your best friend.
No, definitely not. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have only had one. Well, I would say I've had two best friends throughout my whole life that are not related to me. So I had my elementary school best friend, and we were like attached at the hip.
Hmm.
She had a sister, like a younger sister, and I was like, okay, we can relate because I'm the big sister too. And we would hang out all the time. I would go to her house because she lived like 2 or 3 streets down from me. And I would spend the night. And I just remember distinctly we would eat cookie dough, raw cookie dough.
Oh
Her
my
mom would let
god.
us have some. And then her mom would bake the actual cookies, but the raw cookie dough, that stuck in my mind. And then we would watch Rush Hour all night. That was our
Mm.
thing.
Oh my god, you're so young. Rush Hour was your movie when you were young.
Well, it was on VCR, if it helps age me up a little bit.
Okay, okay, yeah. VCR does age you a little bit. I don't think a
There
lot of
you
people
go.
know what a
See?
VCR is.
No. Like, if you don't know, it's this little tape that you put in. It like spins around and you can rewind it all the way back to the beginning. It's not like a DVD where it
Did you
just
rent it
knows
or
you're
was it
starting over.
purchased like you
I
owned
think it
it?
was her DVD actually. I don't know.
Okay.
It was at her house. So I was like, I let her handle all of that. But we were always watching all of the rush hours and we would stay up all night. And then the next day, because I was spending the night on like Saturday night. And then
Mm-hmm.
on Sunday, we would have to go to church.
What a follow up. Let's go to church right after we just watched Rush Hour.
Exactly. What but better time. But it was fun. I liked her church because it was quick compared to my church where it would be like, I was like, dang, y'all got out at 12. That is so early. My church, we would still be in here for at least another hour and a half.
So you've only had a small group of like what you would consider best friends.
Yeah. Because
Mm.
so she was my best friend, and then she said something very mean to another friend of mine. Like, I wouldn't say this girl was my best friend, but she was a close friend of mine. And like, I have photos of everyone. Like, I had a summer party at my 10th birthday, and I was friends with this slightly bigger girl because we are in like fifth grade. Everyone's like little tiny things. And so this was a bigger girl. And I invited her to my slumber party, and I remember my best friend had said something very mean about her weight, and I was like, "That's not cool." So then I kind of stopped being friends with her after that, and then I switched schools, and so I didn't really have to address it that much after that.
Wow. Well, I had a best friend in high school. I don't remember having a best friend when I was younger. I think there was Robert. He was this white guy.
Hmm.
His name was Robert Theodorakis. I used to go to his family's house, and I used to go to his church sometimes on the
Hmm.
Sundays, and like it was my first time experiencing a white church.
I'm sure that was an experience.
It was, first of all, they had these books in the back of every pulpit
Yes.
with the hymns in it, so you would know be able to sing along with the songs.
I wonder if that's at all white churches now, because that happened to me when I went to white church.
Yeah, and we in black churches, it was like they start singing songs. If you didn't know it, then you just stand up and clap your
Hmm.
hands. But they wanted you to pick the book up, and then it would tell you to turn to a certain page because they're going to be singing from this hymn. Um, and what shocked me the most was like with Robert, like me and Robert were really good friends. We were young, so it wasn't like deep conversation. It was just like we played
Yeah.
video games, and I hung out at his house. Um, and what ended up happening was we were at church, and I was shocked at how fast church went by. They were the choir song, the pastor got up there and said a few words, and we were out in like less than 45 minutes. And I was like, I'm used to being in black churches like three
All
hours
day.
minimum. So I was just like, what? They shouting, randomly shouting, running down the
Yes.
aisles,
I was like,
laying hands on people.
I've had white church, they look at their watch, they look at the camera, like not the camera, the clock in the back. They're like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, we gotta go in 15 minutes, y'all. Let me wrap this up. And I was like, y'all care what the clock says?
Yeah, that's
I
what
was
I
so
was shocked.
excited.
I was shocked. But Robert was a really good friend of mine when I was younger. Apart from that, the only other best friend I had, so I was friends with this girl named Tiffany. She
Hmm.
was really sweet. I had a crush on her actually, and I told her I liked her, and she was just like, "What?" She was like, "Oh, Sherman," laughed it off, didn't make a big deal about it, and nothing happened. Um,
Okay.
Between us, we were just friends. But I kind of pulled back after that because I was just like, "Well, she's not into me," and this was before I thought about my sexuality in any deep, meaningful way. And then the other friend that I had, his name was Andre. He was
Hmm.
like the most attractive guy in school. He was very tall. I'm not sure if he failed a few times, but I think he might have because he looked a little bit older than he should have been. But
Yes.
I thought he was attractive, but I never hit on him. I never looked at him like that. He was just like a friend, and I knew
Hmm.
he was attractive. And then once I got outed by my pastor, um,
It's a
he kind of
story for a
stopped.
different day.
We started, yeah, I already told the story.
Hmm.
But after I got outed by my pastor, he was one of my friends that went to that church, and our
Hmm.
friendship kind of fell off because
Yeah.
it was just kind of like, where while they thought I was delivered, it was just still like, well, he
Yeah.
was like this, and it was that stigma with being gay. So we just stopped being friends. And when I got my first boyfriend years later, in my early 20s, I posted something, and he was like, I think he messaged me on Facebook or he left a comment on my photo and was just like, not everyone wants to see that. And then I just
Uh,
unfriended him and we just stopped being friends because I was just like, first of all, you got babies and fucking all these girls out here.
Right, let's
And
talk about God.
yeah, I was like, but you're concerned about who I'm laying with because I posted a photo with my boyfriend at the time. I
Right.
don't know why that
Hmm.
bothered you so much. It was such a big deal.
Well, it's good. That means it did what it needed to do. It added all the people who are not supportive of you, and then you're left with your actual true friends and or nosy people.
True. I mean, I was over it. I was over that. And friendship, like you
Yeah,
said, I learned as I got older levels of friendship. And
that is true.
some people you need to realize there are lanes for friendships. They're not
That
always
is
meant
very
to be
true.
your best friend. They're not always meant to even be.
Hmm.
Sometimes they're not even meant to be friends. They're more like acquaintance, like
Exactly. And
through
you make
work.
you give people more importance in your life than they are meant to have. And so you have to be very weary of that, I will say. And I want to correct what I said. I said I've only had two best friends. I'll say three, four now, because you and
Mm-hmm.
Justin are my best friends, I will say. I tell
Oh,
people now, I'm like, I just say, you guys are my best friends and y'all live in America. And so I'm like, I I love my actual best friend. If she actually listens to the podcast, I want her to
mm-hmm.
know she still has a place in my heart. We just have not talked in a while, so I think she might be getting demoted.
Oh my God. Do not do that on this podcast. She live in America?
No, yeah.
Uh-uh.
So
No.
she's been my best friend since I was like 9 years old, actually. Specifically remember the day. So my parents transferred me to a charter school, which I do not recommend.
Ooh.
And we had to wear uniforms, and I just remember being so nervous the morning of the first day of school. My dad was like, I'm going to teach you how to use your locker combination because at this school,
Hmm.
everyone got lockers and you had to have a lock. And so my dad's like, okay, I'm going to teach you. So then he taught me how to open all the locks. And I was like, I'm a professional now. So I walked into school very confident, and all these other kids had not learned how to open a lock. So I was like, just give it to me. I can help you.
Oh
So I'm
my
helping all the
God.
kids on the first day open their locks. And then I got to class, and the big problem arose. I had broken my glasses during the summer and class had started, and I could not see anything in the classroom. And I was like, I'm just going to sit in the front because I can fake it, I can squint. And the teacher was like, assign seats and you
Ooh.
sit in the back.
Oh.
I could not see that far. So the girl I was sitting beside, I was like, hey, can you see the board? She's like, yeah. And I was like, can you write all the notes down for me and I'll just copy what you write? And she said, yeah, I
Mhm.
can help you. And that turned out to be my best friend. I could not see and she could. And so I was like, yep. And then after that, we became like peas in a pod. And that was sixth grade. And we were very close up until like college days. And just now, I don't know if it's because we're getting older and you kind of talk to your friends less or if major events are happening, but we've kind of tapered off, which I'm a little sad about. I'm a little stung, but it'll always have a special place in my heart.
Oh, that's cute. That was your origin story for your friendship.
Exactly. I was like, we always laugh about it because I really am blind and I cannot see at all. And so it's funny that that was the thing that brought us together.
So, what would you classify as like current day? Because we've talked a lot about
Hmm.
past, how we develop friendships at their younger
Yeah.
stages of life. But like now that you're older and you are an adult and you're in
Hmm.
Germany, or even like for the past few years in America while you were still here,
Yeah.
like what type of friendships have you developed, or do you think is like acceptable, or like levels of your friendships?
Yeah. Well, it's hard. Well, it depends for me because I think to be a best friend, you kind of have to see eye to eye on so many different things like political, religion. Um, just I think there's certain things that you need to click on to elite to even get to best friend slash even close friend level. Um, so I'm like, for me, I say like best friends. Woo, you know everything about me. I'm gonna tell you my deepest, darkest, disgusting secrets. And then we have close friends where I'm gonna tell you a lot of stuff. I might not tell you
Mm-hmm.
everything, but I'm gonna tell you a lot. And then we have just friends where you know some things, you know the big moments in my life. And then
Yeah.
I would say we have like more acquaintances, and then people who I would say are like, you know me and I know you, but we don't
Mm-hmm.
really talk.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So I'm like, for me, I think a best friend, they need to at least be like, definitely okay with the LGBT community because I can't have you saying some slash shit because I'm gonna talk back
Yeah.
to you and then we're really not gonna be friends. You're gonna be demoted to the bottom. And I think you need to be okay with just a lot of the things that I believe in. I don't know. I'm like, I'm not saying you have to be exactly me because I do want some push and pull, but I think fundamental rights need to be the same overall. And then we have to have common interest and just different talking points and things like that. So I want someone who I can spar with and joke and do all of those things. And so it's just crazy because when you're a little kid, you're like, "Oh, you're my best friend just because you love the color yellow." And now it's like,
Hmm.
no, we need to agree on certain things in our life.
I agree. I agree. I agree with the. I'll agree with those levels. There's best
Yeah.
friend. There's close friends, and there's just like friends that you do things with. Like, oh, we go to dinner together.
Yeah.
And it's just like we just hang out for a few hours. I had a friend like
Mm-hmm.
that recently, which we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a friend like that. Like sometimes you have people that are friends and you think you're close, but you
Yes.
also know that they don't know a certain side of you, or you haven't
Mm-hmm.
done certain things together for them to have that like
Yeah.
close friend status. So they're just kind of like a friend.
Yeah.
I had someone like that recently that I went on vacation with, which, you talk about vacationing with friends and sometimes
Yes.
even family.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't vacation with everybody because you don't need to be around people for more than 3 to 4 hours.
Exactly. You'll realize once you spend 24, 48 hours with somebody that that is not someone you need to be around all the time. You want like 1 or 2 hour links,
Yeah.
and that's good enough.
And
And
that's
I
perfectly fine to have that short friendship,
exactly.
that short time frame to hang out with friends. Some people
Yeah.
feel like you like, oh no, we need to be best friends and hang out all the time. It's like, no, I just go to arcades with this person and play video
Yeah.
games,
You just hang out and have fun, which is cool. Like that's a great relationship to have. And I think you need normal friend acquaintances too. Like you can't have a best friend and like put everyone else out.
Mm-hmm.
And that like that's not how normal adults function. We need normal friends too and best friends. So you need somebody you can confide all the things into and then people you can just hang out with.
True. Have you
Cuz
been on vacations with friends?
yes, I have quite a
I'm
few
sorry.
times.
Didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just
No, I
wondering.
agree. Yeah, I have been a few times. I honestly would like to see what happens if us four, like you, me, Justin, or me, go on a vacation.
Oh,
I'm very interested to see. I think we would get along pretty well, but I'm
yeah.
very curious because with like me and Armin, some days we're like we're just gonna sleep in and we're gonna stay in the room, and then in the afternoon we start getting busy. Like we're very
Mm,
slobbish in the morning and then very active in the afternoon. And I know that's not everybody's vibe. Some people are like 6 a.m. I need to get up and go, go, go. And so
mm.
I would love to see how that dynamic would work out.
I'm sluggish in the morning. Justin is up. When Justin is up, he up. He out, he moving, he doing
Yeah. See,
things.
I
With
think
me,
you and Armin are like that. And then me and Justin are like, let's go. We're going power walking.
mm-mm. I'm like, let me lay in bed, man. I work every day of the week. Can I not sleep in? Leave me alone. And it's
Right.
just like this morning, I had somewhere to be. I was supposed to meet
Mm-hmm.
Fabian, and we're supposed to go to the walking. I woke
Oh,
up at
Lord.
7, used the bathroom, came back to bed, and then when I woke up, it was 12. We were supposed to meet at 11, and I'm like,
It's like,
"Why did I sleep?" And Justin was like, "I thought you just needed some sleep," and I was just like, I had somewhere to be, and you watched me sleep." And he was just like, "You just needed some rest," but it was raining,
I've
so
done
we
that
ended
though.
up canceling anyway, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. I
So,
get
in
that.
relation to vacations and
Yes.
going on vacations, is there a story that I'm
Uh, I mean, there's a few. I have quite a few actually. I will
okay?
say. I will just say before we get into the
Okay.
meaty part of it, I will say you just as a banner, you cannot go on vacation with everyone
Hmm.
because everyone has all the different things that we talked about. It's like just even getting to the vacation spot, there's different music tastes. So somebody's probably not going to be happy. And
Hmm.
like I will say, one of the things that I loved about our being on our first date, like out of town, we went to the mountains to go hiking. And I love that he started putting on music that I knew. I was like, I'm sure he has his German music that I have never even heard of at this point. I was like, okay. But he put on music that I knew to make me feel comfortable, which I appreciated. And I know I've been on some trips and it's just all music I hate. And I'm like, can I please? I just want to get there. I hate this so bad. And then on top of that, you had to find the different housing for me and my family, the
Hmm.
accommodations. It's kind of it's got to be a little bit up there, like at least 4 stars, which I know not everyone. Some people are like, okay, I'm gonna summit. That's fine. I cannot, and
Hmm.
that's I know that's me. I'm a little prissy, and everyone has different funds, what they're gonna be willing to spend on a dinner.
Hmm.
What are those things called? Those tourist things that everyone buys.
What do you
Just
mean?
the things that you buy at the stores, like all the stores, they all have like snow globes, lighters, and
Oh yeah, you mean
things
like
that you can buy.
now
What
you're
is the
making me
word?
forget what it is. What in the world?
The word, like when you go to the beach and they have those stores where you could buy so many different things that have whatever beach you're at.
Now I'm
So
pissed because I don't know the word and it's on the tip of my
I want to
tongue.
say trinkets, but I know that's not the word.
It's not
I think that's a little
trinkets.
British.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's there. I can't remember it.
Souvenirs.
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 Okay, that's what it is. All
Finally.
right. It
So
was on the
yeah,
tip
so
of my tongue. I
everyone
couldn't come up with it.
so some people are like, okay, I'll just go and get one souvenir or something. I want to go to all the souvenir stores and I want to see who has the best pricing. And then I'll loop back around to that person
You going
and
with
I'm gonna get the
Justin. You going with
cheapest.
Justin. I'm not going with you. I'm not doing that. I'm
And
not
I know
doing
that's
that.
so annoying. And see, my sister, she's like, this is annoying. Just buy it when you see it the first time, that's it. And I'm like, no, I have to make sure I'm getting the best deal on something.
Amaya, that's a lot of walking. It's unnecessary. I just be like,
It's
listen, this is
if
me.
I can save $1,
Mm-mm.
that means I saved my life. Okay. That's
What
all
I
I
want to do is I'm going to walk through the store. I'm going to see something I want, and I'm just going to buy it. And it is what it
no.
is, and I'm moving
No.
on.
I have to see if I can find it cheaper somewhere else. Because
You
you
know what?
usually
Mm-mm.
can.
I'm leaving you by yourself. Me and Arvine are
Exactly.
just
That's
going to
why,
go.
first of all, that's why I prefer to go shopping on my own anyways, because I know I have to do some like 3 or 4 laps
But
because
why?
I have to make sure I'm getting the cheapest price.
But what if the other store don't even got the thing you want? You just look for something
Then
similar
I
to
just
it?
went and looked and saw what they had. I might find something else I like there. But I gotta
And
go back to the other store and make sure I don't find it there.
that's like a 2 hour shopping spree. I don't want to, and it's not even a spree
Exactly.
because you ain't even got no
See,
unlimited budget.
see now that's why I do it alone because I don't need this judgment in my
I'm not
life.
judging you, Amaya. I'm just saying, like, there are more important things to do than just walk around looking for the
There is,
prices.
but I feel better when I leave and I'm like, man, I got this for $5. The other store was charging 10. I got a deal.
Okay.
I tricked them.
All right, guys. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to give you a rundown of what just happened. Amaya wants to go out on vacation and
Hmm.
walk around for hours. Me, I walk past the store. I pick up my little souvenir, and I'm like, oh, I like that. Let me buy it. Done. Amaya, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. At this point, I'm like,
Are you done yet?
I'm checked out. I'm listening to music in my ear. I'm listening to a
And that's why,
podcast.
see, and now I know people don't like to do that. So I'm just like, you go ahead without me. I'll catch up because I know what I have to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I know other people don't want that. And they're like, no, I'll stay with you. I'm like, for real, go. Because you're not going to like what happens next.
Well, I'm glad we're talking about this. So if we ever go on vacation together,
Yeah.
this is one thing that we need that I can be
Hmm.
prepared for. Now that I know you like to take your time,
Exactly.
I have my podcast preloaded on my phone, and I'll just walk behind you while you do what you do. And see, that's also another thing. Friends can disagree on like certain things, like for example, shopping. You like to shop and take
Yes.
your time. I'm like, look, I just know what I want. I'm gonna get it. I'm done.
Hmm.
I can respect the fact that like maybe I do want to listen to a podcast. Some people can
Exactly.
find that like, oh, that's rude. Like we should supposed to be having a moment, but I'm just like, well, you
Yeah.
like to focus on your shopping, and I'm fine with being in your presence while you do it.
I will say I'm a very much a multitasker. So I usually, if you see me, I have an AirPod in and I'm listening to music, I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm listening to a TikTok. So I do not discriminate when people are like, oh, or I'm on the phone, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I love to multitask and people are not very good at it, especially in my family and or me, and he is not good at it. And everyone's like, how can you have someone on the phone with you and you have a conversation with them and you're also having a conversation in person with me? And I'm like, my brain is just kind of split. I can do
Mm-hmm.
both at the same time. Like literally, if you're talking to me, I can hear someone else talking to me, and I just take that info in, and I'll respond to you, and then I'll respond to them.
You've done that with me before, and I'm like, who are you
Yeah,
talking to?
everyone's
I'm
like,
talking
"What
to
are
my
you doing?"
sister.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that's normal for me."
I never
And
got
other
mad
people are
at
like, "I
it.
can't do it." Yeah, but some people do get mad at it, and I get it. It's not normal, and not everyone can do it. And they're like, "Who are you talking to?" And I'm like, "I'll usually say your name if it
Mm-hmm.
seems out of the odd. I'll be like, 'Hey, you.'" This is the response to your question. But I know it's not for everybody, and I know it gets on some people's nerves. I've been called out on that recently.
Oh, I'm
And I was like,
sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. But I have to do it.
It's fine with me. It doesn't bother me, which is why our friendship works
Yeah,
because I'm just like, that's
exactly.
a Maya. It doesn't bother me. So now, I mean, I'm not trying to steer things in
No,
a
I get it. But
particular
like, let's get into
direction,
the thing. So
but
I was
let's get
like,
into the thing about the vacation part with friends.
yeah, okay. So I don't know. I've been on a few vacations and I'll say like the first one that comes to mind is when I was 20. my friend, my best friend, she was turning 21. I'll drop
Mm-hmm.
her name, Kristen. So she was turning 21. And so she was like, what are we going to do? And we're like, let's go to the beach. And it was kind of like a group chat vacation. And so you
Mm-hmm.
never know if those are actually going to make it out of the group chat.
Yeah.
But my in the end we were like we don't know who to invite, so I told my sister about it, and she's 1 year younger than me, Kayla. And so she ended up like taking the reins. She found us an Airbnb and she invited her best friend, so it was just four girls, and we all kind of already knew each other because since like my best friend has always come to our family things, and then her best friend has always come to our family things, we've been around and we all know the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic of the Danzy household. And so this group chat, we all end up, paying for the Airbnb, sending the thing. So we're actually going to go and we drive down there. It's lots of fun. 3 days at Myrtle Beach. I call that the
Ooh.
cursed beach. That is I can't. Just thinking about Myrtle Beach, I get nauseous, and you're gonna hear why. So,
Okay.
first night, we're like, let's party. We're in the room. It's exciting. She has her ID. She just turned 21, so she gets us the liquor, and we're just hanging out, drinking, and we walk down to the beach, which is like 2 minutes from our room, which is awesome. Next day, we go out sightseeing, back to the beach. More drinking. So I'm 20. I was not legal yet.
Oh God.
And these drinks were hidden because it was bottom shelf liquor,
You can
which I
get in
don't
trouble.
recommend. Ooh, very much
Mm-hmm.
in trouble. Vodka specifically. So third night, and I had a boyfriend just very new, like 2 weeks into this relationship. So he was already kind of worried. He's like, "You're going to the beach with men and da-da-da." And I was like, "No, I'm with my girls. We are not even checking for dudes at this point because everybody I think was in a relationship."
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I remember, we're all sitting around. We're like, we're gonna just stay in and watch like High School Musical or something and drink. I
Mm-hmm.
remember us calling my best friend's mom, telling her, we're good, we're having a fun time. And then that was it. So, as the events have been told to me, I had drank most of the vodka bottle, the very cheap vodka bottle, by myself.
Mm.
I didn't realize that. I just was drinking, having
Bad
fun.
idea.
It was a very bad idea. I went to the bathroom and I'm like, this is where it gets hazy. It's like the movie Hangover.
Mm.
I was in the bathroom and I remember I always have this moment when I'm really drunk. I look up in the mirror and I look at myself and I'm like, damn, you're fucked up, girl.
Oh my
And that was
God.
it. I said to myself, you're fucked up. That's it. So the rest of this story is from what was told to me.
Oh my
So
God.
apparently I fell down and I was blacked out on the floor. And later,
Was this in the
my in
bathroom?
the bathroom,
Oh my
I locked
God.
the door too. Later, my sister's best friend is like, "Hey, where's Amaya? She's been gone for a while." And they're like, "Oh yeah, she has been gone." So they all get up, go to the bathroom, like, "Are you okay?" I'm dead.
No sound, nothing, not a moan, not a
Nothing. I didn't
grunt.
I
Oh
didn't
my
answer anything.
God.
So they opened the door. They figured out how to open the door and I'm just like dead on the floor and they're like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" Da, da, da. And I like apparently I stood up and I just vomit into the toilet and then I
Oh
lay back
God.
down. And that was the
No.
start of the longest night ever. So at some point someone puts me into the bathtub and I'm just like throwing up everywhere. My sister calls my grandma because my grandma was a very heavy drinker at this point, and Kayla's like, "What do I do?
Oh my
Is she
God.
dead? She's not moving." And my grandma's like, "Put cold water on her." Like, no, I think she said put warm water on her. She's like, "Put warm water on
Wait,
her."
so she called an adult while you were
Call
passed
my
out because she
grandma.
was scared that you were dying.
Yes. And my
Wow.
best friend is like, "We gotta call 911, but they're gonna catch us because she's only 20." And I was like, "Don't call the police." And then I just like blacked out again. And
Oh my
I don't
God.
remember any of this. The next day I woke up, I was on the couch and I just was in underwear and I was like, whoa, where am I? I was in the hotel room, but I was like, what the fuck? And I go to the bathroom and I'm like feeling nauseous and awful. And then they tell me what happened. There's photos and videos that I pray never gets out. Um,
We'll find them and we'll post them on the next
please
podcast.
don't.
I'm gonna talk to your sister. I'm gonna reach out to your sister.
And yeah, and the next day we had to leave and we had to drive from Myrtle Beach back to Greensboro, which is like 3 hours, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so hungover. Everything made me vomit. The wheels turning in the car. I was like, I gotta throw up. They, the girls were like, 20 minutes into the ride, they're like, oh, there's Taco Bell. Let's go get Taco Bell. On a good day, I vomit from Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
That day, they just said the words and I was puking. I got out of the car, I was throwing up. They actually went through and got Taco Bell. So all I could smell was this disgusting burrito. And I'm just throwing up in the back seat because it was so bad. I got home. I was still hungover. That was the worst night of my life. I probably have never puked that much ever since, and I can never touch the cheapest vodka there is. Like after a year after that, I was like, I will never drink vodka. Now I'm getting more into it, but vodka still, I hear it a little bit, and I have a little gag reflex because it's so bad.
So the moral of your story is don't go on vacation with Amaya because she get blackout drunk and
That
throw up
was the
everywhere.
only time. The rest of the times I was not drunk, I will say. That was just
Mm-hmm.
a bad weekend. One, you have to add in the heat exhaustion that came from 3 days on the beach and 3 days
Mm-hmm.
of drinking prior to. So it was like the last night was just like a snowball of all the bad things that we had done just hit on the last night. And then back to the boyfriend too. He was
Mm-hmm.
freaking out all night. I woke up to like 20 text messages and he's like, what are you doing? Are you cheating on me? And I'm like, no, I just
Humans
died. I'm like, I died. So,
humans always default back to their own like insecurities when they don't get
yes,
when things are in the unknown. It's just like, oh no, what's happening? What are you doing that's upsetting me?
exactly. And I
Not
was
are
like,
you
no, dude,
dying?
I'm literally dead. So please stop. And then we had a big fight, and I think we broke up like a week later. So,
So what about your friends though? They're still your friends, or did they just kind of like?
oh yeah, like, well, we're kind of more acquaintances now. That's what I'm
Oh.
saying. Like me and my best friend, we're kind of more acquaintances, and then my sister's best friend, we kind of became acquaintances. She moved to Florida, and so it's been a while since I've seen or heard from her.
But I think that's
But that
fine
was not
though.
the end. I will say that did not end the friendship. That actually strengthened us
Oh,
for a while afterwards.
okay. So the distance is what kind of maybe.
Yeah, and just like lack of communication. I get it. I get not talking for like a week or two, but
Mm-hmm.
6 months and then a year, you're like, okay, you don't want to talk to me
I mean, I guess it could be like that. I do disappear off the map sometimes, but
for a
okay,
year.
okay. That no, yeah, that is a long time.
See? I was like,
That
well, I mean, I get not putting in effort all the time, but once in a few blue moons, just been like, hey, this is what's going on with me. Major life events. I'm okay with cliff notes, but I say
mm-hmm.
you should talk at least,
Yeah, periodically.
yeah, every few months.
Well, I'm weird because my family, like from the moment we started, I have six brothers and sisters, and from the
Hmm.
moment that we started, because my brothers and sisters were my best friends basically growing
Yeah,
up,
you have
because
like 10
we
of them.
all. I just said six, bitch. Why are you gonna add some extra numbers when I said six? Anyway, um, what happened was as we got older, as my brother Sam went to the military, my other brother Daryl and me and his wife at the time moved to Greenville, North Carolina. And then my brother and sister were still in like high school, middle school, and my oldest sister, I don't know what she was doing. But we were just spread out. But one thing my family has this magical ability to do is they have the ability to like we could not speak for months, but as soon as we talk, we just like pick up where we left off. And for some reason,
That's
I
good.
thought that was
Yeah,
normal. I thought that was normal until
that
I got
is
older.
it not?
Mm-mm. Some people be like, "Oh, I ain't heard from such and such. That bitch don't care about me no more." You know, I saw a lot of my
Um,
friends go through that, but most of my
yeah.
family, like my brother Sam, lives in Texas. He'll We don't talk a lot, but we have group chats.
Hmm.
I follow along with some of the things they post. But
Yeah.
anyway, I say that to say that that kind of transferred over to my friendships. Like I cannot hear from somebody for a while, and I don't go immediately into they're not my friend, they're negative, they
Yeah.
don't want to speak to me. I go to we just need our space. Life
Yeah, and they might
happens.
be
We
going
get
through something.
busy. You go through
Mm-hmm.
things, sickness or whatever, and I might reach out and send a text. If they don't respond, I don't get mad. I get, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Something must be going on, and I'll just send a follow up text maybe a day later and be like, I hope you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for you if you need anything, love you, and that's it. So I'm going to give a very quick rundown of what happened to me recently. I went on a vacation with a friend for the first time in my life. I don't usually go vacation with friends, it's usually with family only.
Yeah.
And when, mind you, I'm 37. Here I am thinking I've experienced every possible goop and gag moment of my life. And I went on a vacation with this friend. He's from Germany. He's not familiar with
Yeah. Not my husband.
culture. Not Armene. His name is Fabian. Um, we went to Charleston, South Carolina, 4 hour drive from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So we get like an hour away from Charleston. Everything is fine. He's either on the phone doing business calls or I'm on my phone and then he's playing music in the background. So we're just vibing. We've,
Yeah.
mind you, up until this point, we'd only ever hung out for no more than 3 hours. Like we'd go get dinner sometimes, we watch a movie, we chill, or we'll go to like a bar. But
Mm-hmm.
we never like went on vacation together. We never spent long hours together, so we didn't know each other on like a super deep level. So we're driving, we're an hour away from Charleston. A rap song comes on, and they start saying the N word. And I don't want to give passes to anyone to say the N word, but I
Yeah.
will say that for me, it has to deal with context and it has to deal with intentions when you say certain things.
Yeah.
So the song started playing, the rapper starts saying nigga, 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 and then I hear a voice from my left, the person driving the car, saying nigger with the ER, and I'm like confused. I'm like, am I fucking crazy? Am I hearing this right?
It's
Like, am
goop
I
and
high? Am I
gags.
drunk? I'm literally like, in my mind, I'm
Yeah.
battling with what I'm hearing. And then he says it like 2 or 3 more times, and I was like, hold on. I literally asked him to stop the music. I was like, "Do you know what you're doing? Like, do you know what you're saying?" Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't upset. I was
No, you're
confused
just
about.
shocked
Yeah, I
because
was shocked. I
that's
didn't know what was happening.
different.
So I said, "What's?" I was like, "Do you know what you're saying?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You're saying the word. You're not saying nigga. You're saying nigger." And
Yeah.
he said they're the same thing. And I was like, "No, they're not.
No,
They're
they are
not even
not.
close to the same thing." He was like, and then he put up his little German translation dictionary and showed me, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you could say ERE. And I was like, first of all,
Mm.
if you're going to come to America and you're going to live in the South, you
You
might
need
want
to
to
understand
educate
how we
yourself.
process it.
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
to understand what the meaning is behind these words, even if it's slang. Go
Right. I
ahead.
was like, can I say? I was like, Armin told me when we first, because I've asked him about it. I will say he's never said that word around me. I tried to trap him and get him to say it around me. He is not. But he said it's like the reverse here. So the A is the ER here, and the ER is the A, basically in
Okay.
Germany. So, but I still am like,
But in what
you're not
context would you
from
use that word, though? Like, in what
exactly. And I'm
sentence in
like,
normal conversation would you use
and
that word?
I was like, and if in Germany you say that word, which I don't think you should,
Yeah.
when you get to America and someone tells you not like the way that we think it is, you
Mm-hmm.
need to take that into account
It's a
because you say
warning.
that around the wrong person, you're gonna get beat up. Because me personally, if someone was saying that, I probably would have rolled out the fucking car. Like, excuse me, you're trying to take me on a death trap.
Yeah, I was listen. I like I said, I never experienced this before, not with someone
Exactly.
that I
You're just
thought was a
shocked.
friend.
Like,
So I was completely shocked
yeah.
by it, and I'm smiling and stuff. But I was also upset. Like I was
And very
upset about it.
uncomfortable too. Like,
So after I
mm,
explained the difference between the words to him, he said, "It's this." He was like, "You're overreacting." And if you say that to a black woman, you're gonna get a response
you're
from
gonna get
her.
slapped.
Yeah, you said it to
The
a
response
black.
will be
Yeah, smack to the
upside your
face.
face.
But he said it to a black gay man or whatever, and I
Yeah.
was just kind of like, I'm overreacting. You're in my country. You're saying things that are offensive to me. I'm trying to educate you, and you're telling me I'm overreacting to the a word being said to me.
Right.
And that pissed me off. So I was texting you because I was telling you what was happening. And then I was telling
Mm-hmm.
Justin what was happening. And I was talking to somebody else while it was happening. And I was just like, because I was trying to make sure, one, he was driving. He had
Yeah.
booked the Airbnb. It
Yeah,
was a
y'all
lot
can't
of,
have a real fight.
yeah, I can't have a fight with someone and I'm like 3 hours away from home. And plus, if he is truly not educated on American culture and the history of America, then I can give him a pass. I'm willing to educate people on stuff like that. But I'm
Right.
also I'm also battling internally with my emotions while also understanding or trying to believe that he's actually not racist because I don't think he was. I think he was
Yeah.
ignorant. So
Yeah.
I explained to him the situation. I was like, I'm just gonna move past this because I still have the rest of the weekend. We left on a Friday. We still had Saturday and Sunday before we came back. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I need to make the best of this. So it basically what happened was he apologized. He just said, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. That was it. I'm not gonna say I didn't believe him. I'm just gonna say, hmm, that was warning number one, red flag.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch you. And then
Mm-hmm.
we got to Charleston, South Carolina, parked, went and got dinner because it was late at that point. It was like 7. And we were
Right.
leaving the restaurant. Things got better, spirits got up. We just started talking and talking about life and stuff. But in the back of my mind, this is fresh. It's still going to be back there.
Yeah.
We about to cross the street after we leave the restaurant, and he looks and he says, "Hey, let's go to a bar." And I'm like, "It's already
Mm-hmm.
like 8, 9. Like we just drove 4 hours." I was like, "Why don't we just get rest tonight and then have a full day tomorrow? We can go to the bar tomorrow night. We can
Right.
enjoy ourselves, whatever." He looks at me. He's like, "I got an idea." I'm gonna pause because I know some people are gonna need a moment to react to this. So he says, "I have an idea. How about you go with me to a bar tonight, and tomorrow I'll take you to a slave museum."
Moment of silence to gather your jaws from
Yeah,
the floor.
yeah. I was at that point. I was like,
Excuse me?
you're not ignorant. Like you clearly know about our history." And
Yeah.
I looked at him and I was like, "Do you know what you fucking just said?"
Right. I was
And
like,
he
out
was
of
just like,
everything you know
"What?"
about America, you know
Yeah.
about slavery.
I was like, you know about the history to even say that, right? So then we walk quietly back to the parking garage, get in the car, and when he starts the car, he looks at me. He was like, "By the way, you do know black people weren't the only slaves. Like white people were slaves." I paused, took a breath, and I
Mm.
was so over it. Like if I could have teleported back home, if I had drove on my own, I would have just went back home.
Yeah,
Because at this
me too.
point, the first time you said the N word, you said the wrong word. Try to educate you. I try to give you a free pass.
Right.
This second time, you said something that made me feel like,
Deliberately.
yeah, like, and it's not, it'll be, okay, if we would erase the first part that happened in the car and he had just said that while we were leaving the restaurant and the first part never
Hmm.
happened, I would have been like, "Oh, you funny, you got jokes." Like, I can make jokes with friends on that level
Right.
sometimes. But
Yeah.
I was like, no, this something else is going on here. And he
I
tried
was
to play this
like,
whole, well, I don't know about American culture. And, I was like, you're in America. You're in the
first of
South.
all, but if you had said something backhanded to him, he would have been
Yeah.
like, no, why would you say that? Like, if you were like, go burn a bunch of Jews, then he would have been like, you can't say that to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's rude. It's the same level of rudeness. So,
Basically. And he still didn't get it. And then while we were in the car, at this time I'm heated. Like I'm talking to him, and if anybody know me, I'm very animated. My voice raises, pitches, goes up and down, and like the whole time I'm
mhm,
talking, I was like, you don't understand the weight of the shit that you're saying. You don't know about
yeah,
my culture. You claim to be a friend, and at this point, this goes into the whole conversation of sometimes people you're not friends. There are limit to friendships that you
yeah,
have, and for me, I realized we should have went on vacation together. We
no,
only hang out, go to bars, and do stuff like that. Me going on vacation with me going on vacation with you, not me, but me going on vacation with him allowed me to just be like, damn, I don't think I can be friends with you. Like,
no,
I really don't like you. And this isn't a small topic of you like different dressing than I do. This is like you
right,
saying offensive things. And
exactly.
long story short, what ended up happening was I tried to explain to him in the car, like, dude, you're saying offensive shit. You're doing shit that's pissing me off. And I literally looked at him. I was like, I think our friendship is over after this vacation. And then I also said, I was like, I dare you. go on the way back home, stop at any restaurant, any station. You have to know the way that this works because you've been living in America for 2 years, and I doubt you've been
Hmm.
walking around saying the N word to people or anybody else. And it also makes me question how many black friends you have. Like for you
Exactly.
to
Am
be
I the only
like,
one that you know and you're just trying to
yeah.
test it out? Like,
And
what's
this is not your
happening?
first time listening to rap because you tell me rap is your favorite like genre of music here in America when you're here. So I'm confused. So anyway, I we get back to the Airbnb. My first time staying at Airbnb, I usually do hotels, so I was already sketched out with being in the house of
Hmm.
somebody else that I've never met. Like right over in the next room, I can hear them laughing and talking and watching TV, and I don't even know these
Right.
bitches, but I'm standing in your house. I get it's common now, but for me, who's always just did hotels, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is fucking weird.
It's a learning experience, I'll say. I've done a few Airbnbs.
Yeah. So I just anyway, the rest of Saturday was fine, Sunday was fine, but I do distinctly remember him on the ride back to the Airbnb that first night Friday after everything transpired, me trying to explain things to him. He looked at me and he said, "This was prior to me saying I don't think we can be friends anymore, such and such and so after this trip." He said, um, he looked at me and he was like, I don't know why you keep repeating yourself. You said it once, you said it twice. And I was like, because I don't think you're fucking getting the point.
Right.
Like, you're saying things. The first time I told him, I was like, the first time you said something, I tried to educate you on. It wasn't even a day later. Just a few hours later, you said something else. As a like, why would you want to take me to a slave museum, bitch? You don't think I know my own
Exactly.
history?
I don't know. I'm like maybe they could have explained it away, but I still think that's very rude and very insensitive. And
Yeah,
it definitely was like a buildup for you, and they probably had already letting it go, and they're like, "Why are you getting so mad?" But it's like, no, this thing already happened that
mm-hmm.
is made me feel this way now. So everyone's has just different perspectives, and I think this is the furthest left that it could have gone, like the
Yeah,
worst case scenario, definitely. I was just talking about petty differences, like music taste.
yeah.
But see, this is what I mean. Like to be a best friend and be on that level where I think you should even consider going out of town, you definitely have to have a very similar view on your human rights. And not everyone sees certain things and understands different things. And maybe he needs to educate himself a bit more. Not maybe, definitely needs to educate himself a bit more. But those things need to be a factor when you're going out of town with someone.
And it wasn't even until that scenario happened until I literally looked at myself and I was like, I need to go through my friend group and I need to just start cutting people. Like
Yeah.
people that like, and it's not just because of him. It was because when that
Hmm.
moment happened, I was just like, I only need, at my age, I only need close friends. People who rock with me that
Exactly.
are either close friends. I don't need acquaintances. I don't need nothing. All I need is close friends and best friends.
Yeah.
Anything else, go talk to somebody else because I don't got time for it. And if you're gonna do
Yeah.
something that's offensive, it's a difference if you're not educated and you don't know. But you should be willing to respect, honor, and at least show some sympathy
Willing to
towards. Yeah,
know,
willing
like
to
to
know
be
other
educated
people's.
on, I
And he
think,
didn't. He
like,
didn't seem to care. And I don't want to say.
yeah.
I don't want to. So speaking to Fabian, which he won't listen to this, I would say what you did was insensitive. It
Hmm.
it was hurtful on a lot of levels, and it didn't help that you continued to do things that almost felt like an attack on me
Yeah.
and my race and just everything that I identify with. Like
Hmm.
you're fine with me being gay, but you're saying these things about my culture, about things that I can't change about myself, and you're almost
Exactly.
sweeping it under the rug like I'm being dramatic and it's not that big of a deal, but you're not from this country. And if you're going to go to another country, you need to educate yourself on things or you will get your shit rocked. If it would have been any other person, they might have did something. But for me, I'm not violent first. I'm usually
Yeah.
like, I like to
Let's talk about
absorb. Yeah, let's talk about it. I like to absorb information and then react. And I won't say we're no longer friends because I said I only want close friends and best friends. I think I'm at a point right now where I know people are like, you should just cut them off and block them and blah, 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 blah.
it. Yeah.
But I want him to know why.
Yeah.
So when I was supposed to meet up with him today, so I was like, the next time I
Hmm.
meet up with him, I'm going to have a conversation with him, and he's gonna. I already know his reaction, and this is gonna show again on his character. If I try to let him know, hey, this did offend me. I know it happened a
Hmm.
week ago, and you're saying sweep it under the rug, but I do feel like you have not fully grasped or you've learned anything from what happened. It
Yeah.
seems to me that all you care about is let's just have fun. And you're young, because he's younger than me, but I don't fucking
Hmm.
care. Like,
Yeah.
my comfort level, my friend zone, people that I let in my bubble need to be aware of the things that I care about. And if you don't
Hmm.
care about what I care about, and you're gonna disrespect me on those things, then you can kick rocks. And I'm probably gonna.
Yeah.
I know I am gonna like let him know that we can't hang out anymore. He's leaving America in December,
Yeah.
and
It's
one
a
of my
short
friends,
friendship, but it could
yeah,
be
it could have been
international
more.
later.
It could have
Yeah.
been international, but I already got my German best friend, so he can kick rocks.
Yeah.
Sorry,
He'll always
Fabian.
be second place. Sorry.
Yeah, and to be fair, I did tell him, which probably was me being mad at what he had done. I told him, I was like, I thought we could be friends. Damn, am I mean? I
A
think
little
I
bit.
am. I
A
said
little
I thought we
bit.
could be friends, but I think I was just trying to be friends with you to replace the fact that Armin left and went back to Germany.
Yeah.
But he had said those racial things to me, so it was warranted.
It's fair. Yeah. See, and like I get it's hard to replace me, I will say. And also,
Oh,
I mean, he's something.
first of all, the fuck.
I'm irreplaceable, as Beyonce said,
But
You
she don't
can't.
sing that song no more, do she? You ain't heard her
Oh,
sing that song once.
anyways, I don't care. I am
Okay,
irreplaceable. Get it right.
this is true. I do miss y'all.
Yeah, see, and like we're just I mean, I think with everyone is a hard pill to swallow
Mm-hmm.
if you're not used to the medicine. Let me say that. There you go. Because I'm like, I love Armin and I get him on another level. But when we meet new people, I'm like, damn, dude, you're gonna cost us this friendship because I have the Southern in me. I can play nice.
Oh
He got
yeah.
too much German in him. He's mean as fuck. And we meet people and I'm like, you shouldn't have said that, okay? That's not how I would say it. Be real nice so they think we
Mm-hmm.
like them. Even if you don't, you gotta be nice.
Oh my
And
god, me
I
and Armin are alike. I can't be
See,
nice to people I don't
no,
like.
I am too nice. I have to be nice to people, even if I don't like them. I gotta be really nice.
Mm-mm. I meet people and Justin will be like, Justin is like, he's like, oh, let's be nice, cordial.
Yeah.
He does this laugh, and I know he does it because he's trying to like remain neutral. And sometimes
Hmm.
he'll look at me and I'm like, I'm not hanging out with him again. I don't feel right. I got this, and I've learned over the years to trust my intuition. And if I say I don't feel
Hmm.
something, I'm like,
Well, I'm
no.
happy that didn't happen when you first met us, because I know we're something else.
Armenian was funny. I met Armenian and I
See,
liked him.
but that's that humor though. If he does that
Yeah,
humor on the wrong person, they're gonna be looking at him like, yeah,
true.
what the fuck?
He did say some off the wall shit to me when I first met him, but
Exactly.
I
I'm
was
like,
like, this is
dude, you're gonna
interesting.
ruin our friendship. Please stop.
And then I
We
met
need
you and I was like,
friends.
oh, it makes sense why he is the
Yeah,
way
it
he is,
does.
and you kind of he comes in with like a punch in the face, and you come in with like, oh, let me wipe that off. I don't know why he did
Yeah, see, like
that.
you gotta be nice.
So,
And everyone understands that, but that's the whole thing. You gotta feel things out. Definitely would say recommend for you, at least in the future, don't go on group trips or any kind of trip out of town. Don't go somewhere where you can't get out of it
if something goes
for a
south,
long period of time, because that can happen
and
very
it's
often.
sad. It
Even
took.
with family. Like
Ooh,
me and Armin now have a rule saying that we probably are not ever going to go out of town again with my family in a confined space. We will go out of town with them, but we have to have our own hotel and our own like accommodations because family vacations in my family always end in some kind of fight every
mm.
single time.
I heard about those fights. I'm not gonna bring it up because this is a podcast and I don't put people's business out there.
It's
But
a little personal, but that's just our rule in our relationship. He said, if you want me to go out of town with your family, that's a stipulation. And I said, you're right. That's
mm-hmm.
fair. And I get it. And I mean, since that trip, I don't think I've been out of, there was a really big moment that caused him to say that I definitely
Mhm.
think was warranted. And since then, we have not gone on a family trip. And I think in the future, if we ever do, it will become an issue.
Wow. I will say this on the friendship thing and family as well. If you have friends or family and you have to go on vacation with them and you have to edit yourself, you can't be yourself, or you have to like play this certain role, which I get is so some people they try to make it seem normal, but I don't want to normalize that. You should be 100% authentically yourself, especially around family. Like, why do you have to
Yeah.
edit yourself to make them comfortable? And I'm not in the business of doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Period. My uncles and my aunts
You too
always say
old.
off the wall stuff.
I
Amaya, I
mean,
swear to God, I will fly to
you have a
Germany
lot of
and I will set
wisdom.
your house on fire. Don't play with me.
I just meant it as wisdom, not age necessarily.
I'm 27 years old. I'm not that old.
Of course, yes, yes. That
Whatever.
young.
Fuck you. I'm gonna say that for real. But no, life is like I don't think you should. We should be in the habit of not editing ourselves for people. You
That
know,
is true. I
you
think
want
you
to be
should
respectful.
come out who you are and
Yeah,
then let people decide if they want to be around you.
and don't be scared to drop friends. You don't stick.
Yeah.
Don't be friends with people if you don't need to be.
And I think the older I get, the more I realize like, wow, these people weren't really friends. They were just acquaintances or people that I had to be around
Hmm.
because of some situation, school, work, something. And then when you get out of those situations, you're like, wow, those aren't really my friends. And it's the people who actually want to talk to you, even when you're out of those situations, that you realize, wow, you're
Hmm.
actually a real friend. And, I think family, my family, I don't talk to some of them, but for the most part, at the end of the day, we'll be like, oh, yeah, you're family. So we're going to still talk. But with friendships, it's a lot harder. Like you actually have to put in that work. Like I have friends from my old job in America, and they still text me, and it always makes me smile. I'm like, oh, they're thinking about me, and I like that. And I like to be the kind of person who texts someone out of the blue because I'm like, wow, I was thinking about you. Like I've had friends where I had a dream and they were in my dream, and I've texted them like, "Hey, I was just thinking about you," and they've texted me back being like, "Oh my God, you texted me right at the perfect time. I've just had these big things going on, and it's really nice that you reached out to me." And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." See, like God or the universe, somebody put that
Hmm.
into my brain that I needed to reach out to you at this time. And so that always makes me like feel a little good inside.
Well, that's good because no, if you make it in my dreams, we not hanging out.
Oh,
I'm joking.
what?
I'm joking.
I'm like, ooh,
I mean, I'm just saying.
no, I
Usually,
think
my
that's the
dreams aren't.
universe.
I don't dream normally, but when I do dream, it's never like, oh, I was hanging out with this person. He crossed my mind. It's like, mm-mm. I'm not gonna
Why are
go
you
there. We're
here?
not gonna talk about it. So
I'm like, my dreams try to tell me things. So I'm like, I gotta listen when they're
that's
trying
your
to tell me something.
subconscious trying to tell you things. Ain't your dreams.
Maybe, and it works too. I'm like, oh wow, I haven't heard from this person in a long time. But then it sometimes works against me, I'll say. This is a little side thing. But like with my ex, I would sometimes we would not talk for a while, like 2 or 3 months. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time specifically, we had not been talking for a while, and I had a dream about him. And I don't remember what the dream was, but I know when I woke up from that dream, he had texted me trying to be like, hey, I don't want to be with you, but I'm like, this is what's happening in my life, trying to like reel me in like a fishing rod. And I was like, yeah. And he reeled me in that instance. And then I
Um,
got better.
weak Amaya.
I was weak, but I'm strong now.
Well, you married. I hope you strong. What the fuck?
No, no, no. This was before marriage. This was
But
before
I'm
marriage.
saying, but you're
But
strong now. I was like, I hope you're strong now.
yeah, I was like, but I've had dreams about him since I've been married, which I can't help dreams, so my husband knows this. But it's always like weird things. Like he'll just walk past me and I get scared. I'm like, oh God, is he gonna try to message me? Like I get anxiety when I wake up. I'm like, please don't try to contact me.
Lord
We have
Jesus
nothing
Amaya.
else. We have nothing else to talk about.
Get it together. But anywho,
I'm trying to.
we have held your time long enough. We wanted to basically bring this podcast here just to basically
Yes,
say friendships is a spectrum, just like
it
sexuality.
is.
You know,
Just as, yes, the same as sexuality, honestly. Let's talk about this.
yes, friendship is a spectrum, and where you have your friends on the spectrum, it really depends on you. I will say, from my experience, it's best to get to know yourself first and be solid in who
Yes.
you are. That will help you guide your spectrum where you place your friends on that spectrum of whether they're just acquaintances or best friends, or even more
Hmm.
than that. You want to make sure that you know yourself so you know
Yeah,
what you will and will not put up with. Because if you don't know who you are and what you're willing to accept from a friend, then you will just constantly make excuses and keep people in your life that don't need to stay any longer than they do. And then that could be detrimental to your growth as a person.
exactly. And to add on to what you said, I 100% agree. Don't let someone's thoughts about you or feelings about you dictate how you feel about yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
like, don't let them have that importance in your life because sometimes you'll feel like shit, basically. If someone isn't your best friend at that moment or always talking about you or caring about the things that you do, don't let them have that power. You have to have that for yourself. Like, you have to know that you are showing up in the best way that you can. And when they're ready or willing, they will show up in the best way that they can. And y'all just meet somewhere, or you never meet again, and you'll meet someone else who meets you where you're at. Just make sure that even you put out good into the world, and if it's received, it's received. If it's not, keep on pushing forward and don't feel bad about yourself.
I agree completely. And when you're my age, at some point, it's
Mhm.
okay to just say, I don't have time for this bullshit. I don't need to
Yes.
educate you. It's not my job to educate everyone. If I had to educate every
Hmm.
person that came into my life that was a friend on gay rights or the LGBTQ plus community, or whether it's about being black, or whether it's about anything, at some point I'm too tired. I'm working a full time job. I have a house. I'm trying to fix up my house. I'm trying to see family. I'm traveling a lot to do a lot of things. I don't need to add somebody in my life where I need to teach you how to be a
Yeah,
decent human being. That's on you.
exactly.
And I'm not doing it. Some people are like, well, you should have been having a conversation. I tried to have the
No, you need to
conversation.
put
It's
that work
done.
on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to
You
do
worked
they
on
need to put in
you,
the
they
work.
need to do their work. Yeah.
Agreed. So I want to thank you guys for listening. We're back. I promise we're gonna try to be more consistent. Things are slowing down on my end. I don't know if she's
It's
gonna get sick
okay.
again, but
Yeah, we'll see.
we want to thank you guys for joining the podcast and listening. And just remember, if we're not your friends, it's because
We don't like you.
oh my god, what
I'm
the fuck,
joking.
Amaya? No.
No, you
I was
don't
thinking
know
of a
us
word.
yet.
Jesus. I was gonna
Listen,
say if we're not your friends, it's because we're busy. And if we
there you
are,
go.
thank you for listening because all we
We
care about is
appreciate.
ourselves.
I
I'm
didn't
just
say that. I said we
I'm
appreciate you.
just,
That's
I
it.
do. We do appreciate anyone that listens. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.